I'll be straight with you. I never misled anyone.
Doctors say you could take it for humans.
It was whipping that happened there at the border.
While I'm saying a few things, if you can show pictures of people breaking inside the Capitol, I'd really appreciate it. Donald J. Trump called for the insurrection against the United States of America. If Donald Trump Jr., Rudy Giuliani, and Donald Trump are not arrested today for insurrection and taken to jail and booked, Trump supporters come in and you open the fucking doors for them. You open the doors for them and let them breach the people's house. What is wrong with you?
The murder of Officer Brian Sicknick by Trump supporters.
He was attacked with a fire extinguisher.
Officer Sicknick was the one officer who was beaten to death.
Cop killers, Trump cop killers.
Some rioters were planning to murder lawmakers.
They were carrying zip ties, right, a way that police used to detain people.
People that showed up there with weapons and zip ties with clear intent to murder American legislators.
If they had gotten in there and gotten their hands on a congressman or senator, they would have slit their throats, they would have hung them, they would have shot them, they would have beat them to death.
There was, my understanding, a functional gallows constructed in front of the Capitol. So if you wanted to lynch somebody on the steps of the Capitol, you would bring those kind of zip ties to get them from their office to the hanging noose.
There was almost a kind of allergic reaction to the suggestion of a lab leak because it sounded more like something that Donald Trump was trying to deploy as a political deflection to take attention off his own administration.
They refused to release the evidence showing what it was. And so because of that, that made this instantly political.
You couldn't possibly even raise this idea without becoming some kind of a crazy, wacky Trumper who has, spreading fake news.
If the chief and loudest advocate for something is a race-baiting liar who lies all the time and has done things to contribute to, for example, the rise in hate crimes, you can understand why people don't want to get near that.
I can't even believe Aaron Rodgers did this, Skip. I have lost so much respect.
He literally is sitting home because he might kill someone.
Aaron Rodgers is comfortable sitting down for 50 minutes and spewing verbal diarrhea that we can all react to.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers set the dumb jock stereotype back?
You came across as a national embarrassment.
I think we're seeing a very different side of Aaron Rodgers, and I think we're seeing a side of Aaron Rodgers that people are really, really disgusted by.
Unfortunately, we've got players that pretty much think only about themselves, and I'm extremely disappointed in the actions of Aaron Rodgers.
Joe Rogan, he came down with COVID. He says he's been taking the livestock dewormer ivermectin.
Individuals like Joe Rogan, for example, who don't want to take an experimental vaccine but will take horse dewormer.
Wait a second. He said that he got better because he ate cattle dewormer.
He may not have gotten it from the feed supply store, but it's the same compound.
You know, doctors say you could take it for humans.
When you have a horse deworming medication that's discouraged by the government, that actually causes some people in this crazed environment we're in to actually want to try it. That's the upside down world we're in with figures like Joe Rogan.
Does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied, just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer?
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that? I don't know.
Tucker Carlson is inciting violence.
Tucker Carlson has created a terrorist recruitment video.
Isn't this just an incitement to another January 6th? Is that what Tucker Carlson wants?
What Carlson is doing is unforgivable and really just horrible. I want to say criminal, but technically that's not true, although maybe it should be.
Why does Rupert Murdoch want to destroy America?
The Murdochs and Tucker Carlson, their primetime pyromaniac, appear to be hell-bent on dragging this country into a civil war.
Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother. People can say and write what they want, but I want you to know the truth.
You've always been good at manipulation.
You're straight with me, I'll be straight with you. I don't believe in rules. I never misled anyone about the information I was delivering or not delivering on this program.
What you said is just not a fact. If it were a fact, you'd be right.
I never attacked nor encouraged anyone to attack any woman who came forward.
Look in a mirror before you open your mouth.
I know where the line is. I can respect it and still be there for my family. I never made calls to the press about my brother's situation.
You're going to pay, Chris. One day you're going to be better.
I'm not an advisor. I'm a brother. I wasn't in control of anything. He's my big brother. I love him. Of course, I'm not objective. I tried to do the right thing, and I just want you all to know that.
Images that make you think of how enslaved people were treated.
Border agents using some kind of whips around migrants at the border.
At least one Border Patrol agent using a whip and was effectively trying to lasso some of the migrants.
Whipping, I don't care what anyone says. Yes, it's a rein, but nonetheless, there was whipping that happened.
Border Patrol agents using reins against migrants. They say that this looks like slavery. They say that this is cruel, that it's inhumane.
I was not aware that whips, which come from the slavery era, were part of the package that we issue to any sort of law enforcement.
In 2021, seeing whips and being them corralled on horses was just a sickening and dehumanizing image.
When you start whipping people and you want to split hairs between reins and whips, I don't care what it is, that lacks humanity.
Race is just the most palpable tool in the toolkit. It used to be of the Democratic Party back in the day when there were Dixiecrats, and now of the Republican Party.
I think all the CRT stuff is trumped up dog whistling.
The dog whistle messaging that you saw Youngkin engage in during the course of the campaign.
This more palatable Republican who still uses the same racist themes that Trump did. He just packaged them in a soccer dad sweater vest model.
This wasn't about those pocketbook issues. This was about how white kids feel talking about what black kids go through.
This is about the fact that a good chunk of voters out there are okay with white supremacy. Let's call a thing a thing. Actually, scratch that. They are more than okay.
Right-wing domestic violent extremism is the single greatest threat facing this country.
Domestic terrorism is our number one threat.
There are elements of the GOP that are starting to look like the jihadists.
What I would call MAGA terrorists.
Domestic Trump terrorists.
The Republican Party is basically a domestic terrorist cell at this point.
If we can go after international terrorists, why can't we do it at home?
MAGA and the domestic terror threat is much more worrisome than any foreign threat.
Violent-looking, angry, spewing parents.
We've never seen anything like we're seeing at these school boards now. What on earth has happened in this country?
You look at the rage, the anger, you think, what is this doing to the children in those homes?
They want to shut down our schools and, move kids over to charter schools and private schools without the oversight of the state. And that's wrong.
You're either with them or with us.